Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakapadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, your brother Ra'aya, back with another one from GMS Detroit. And yeah, y'all, I was listening to one of the brothers in Kansas City, and he had made a video about one of these posts, and it says world's most powerful reset. Trump's cryptic post ahead of U.S.-Iran peace talks in Pakistan. Right? He's talking about some of the world's most powerful reset. This is speaking about the New World Order, about him introducing the beast system, which we already, at GMS been saying anyway, because he is going to be the one that ushers in, Lord willing, he be the one that usher in the MOTB, the RFID chip, right? But let's get a little bit of what it says. It says United States President DJT on Friday dropped a cryptic post on his Truth social platform hours ahead of his deputies meeting with the Iranian delegation in Pakistan. World most powerful reset. Now think about this. Why would this man sit up here and say this? Like, why would he say it? You gotta think about all of the smoke and mirrors, the things that they have been doing to lead up to this point where a reset could be possible. These are all of the chess moves that these elite banking families has been playing on the public or on the the regular citizens. They've been playing these chess moves on y'all. They using DJT as a pawn. They just puppeteering him to push their agenda. And we already knew also with the 2030 agenda. Right? It says the 2030 agenda is a global plan, right? This is a global plan. And this essentially is the beast system that they want to implement, right? So it says the 2030 agenda is a global plan adopted by all UN members. The UN is the United Nations, and these United Nations are all these nations that consist in Psalms 83. The same nations who put away the remembrance of Israel, who took away our heritage so that we wouldn't know who we were, right? So this is Psalm chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones, right? Matter of fact, let me start at verse 2 so that you get more context. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, right? These are the enemies of the Lord, which are the heathen nations, and the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, and the rest of the nations, right? They're enemies to the Lord, let alone they're enemies to Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It says, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head, because they hate the Heavenly Father and the condition that he placed them in. They want to turn against us. They want to put us in the position that they were in, because you got to think about it. All of the conditions that we're living in is essentially the conditions that the heathen were once living in, and they didn't want to do that no more because they wanted the roles and the our hierarchies to be flipped, them being on top and us being below. But truly, it's supposed to be us being on top and them being below. And you can see why. Look at what they're doing to the earth. Look at what they're doing to the earth. The Heavenly Father came up. His order is there for a reason. These people don't know how to rule this earth. And you can tell, look at what they're doing. They're coming up with nuclear weapons to destroy the earth. You know what I mean? They don't even have a concept of keeping things in its proper order. But let's keep it going though. This is verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. That crafty counsel is the UN, it's the United Nations, right? We can go to United Nations. Let's kind of do this. The United Nations, an international organization of countries set up in 1945 and succession to the League of Nations to promote international peace, security, and cooperation. So they're all on at one consent on keeping us, and that's basically what they're doing. Whenever they go to the meetings, them UN meetings, they're all in one consent on keeping Jake in a lower state because that's how they keep their power, is by keeping us down. So it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They're confederate against thee, right? And this is what it says. It says, they're international, they're a secession of the League of Nations to promote international peace amongst themselves, security and cooperation, because when we're in power, they're not going to have not the peace that they consider peace now. It's not, especially not Esau Edom, because they didn't went overboard with this. But anyway, it says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes. Edom being the so-called white man, Ishmaelites being the so-called Arab, Moab being the so-called Chinese, the Hagarenes being Hamites, Gabal and Ammon being the Japanese, Amalek being the so-called the mini hats that's over there in our land right now. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, also Hamites, right? Meaning Africans, right? So these people all came together to put us down. Now, this 2030 agenda, it says the UN member states to achieve 17 sustainable development goals by 2030, aiming to end poverty. But how are they going to end it? Through the MOTB, the RFID chip, right? 13. So this Revelations chapter 13 and 16, right? Matter of fact. Yeah, this Revelation chapter 13 and 16, and it says, and he calls up all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So it don't matter what status you have in this place. He's going to cause you to do this next phrase, to receive a mark in the right hand. Now this mark means charagma. It is an insertion of a microchip that's going to go into your skin, and they're going to basically force you to get this, and if not, you will be X'd out of the society. You won't be able to participate in your regular societal participations, right? So it says, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, right? 666. So you're not going to be able to buy or sell, meaning you ain't going to be able to uh, function in this society, right? So let's go back. It says aiming to end poverty. So this is how they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it through that what is it called? So like it's universal basic income, right? So they're gonna propose to people that you see how prices is going, how they are, hyperinflation. You see the out because they're gonna cause a economic collapse on top of is going to cause, and from there is going to cause hysteria and anarchy everywhere, right? And in order to bring back a sense of normalcy, they're going to implement that you take this RFID chip in order for you to be uh, back into the society, right? Because they're gonna paint things as if they're terrorist attacks and all types of stuff that's gonna be going down, y'all. So they're gonna paint all this to make it seem like it's good for you. Because as it says, he causeth all. See it? It says he causeth all. He causeth. So he's gonna cause this to happen. It's not like it's just gonna happen for no reason. And this is what I meant by those chess moves. Because in order for you to win that game of chess, you have to cause your opponent to make the moves that you want them to make, right? You got to be moves ahead. So that's what he's doing, right? And it says, and that's pretty much what he's going to do. He's going to implement the universal basic income, and that's going to be like a relief for people, right? And many people are going to get it. You know, many people are going to get this, but the hopeful elect will not get this, right? And Lord willing, I'm one of them, you know. It says protect the planet and ensure prosperity for all, right? So look, let's read some more of this. It says United States, matter of fact, Mars were apparently linked to this next onslaught plan. All right, here we go, right here. All right, it says DJT elaborates on reset underway. In an interview with New York Post, the U.S. president elaborated on his plans for Iran if Pakistan failed to produce a deal. We have a reset going, right? So they're already telling you, they're already coming out and telling you that they're going to reset this thing. And the looks of it is perfect, right? It's perfect for them to do so. It says we're loading up the ships with the best ammunition, the best weapons ever made, even better than what we did previously, and we blew them apart. DJT said, "This man is crazy when it's concerning violence. He don't even have a filter. And if we don't have a deal, we will be using them, and we and we will be using them very effectively." He added, "I could hear him saying this too. That's crazy." Trump has declared a victory while announcing a ceasefire on Wednesday and reiterated that the U.S. aims were met in the 5-week conflict. Right? See, they think they're gonna do all this by force, and it ain't going. See, my thing is this is all smoke and mirrors though, because they're all in cahoots on this reset happening, right? Because when it does happen, then there's going to be the rich will get richer and the poor will stay poorer, all right? And also when it happens, um, there's going to be a one world government, right? The whole world is going to be on one consent. It's going to be one religion. That's all of their plan. One religion, one consent, right? And there you go. Let me put. All right. It says the NWO is a term, New World Order is a term often used in conspiracy theories which speculate about a secretly emerging totalitarian world government, right? And that's exactly what it's going to be. A totalitarian is a political system and a form of government that prohibits opposition from political parties, disregards and outlaws the political claims of individuals and group opposition to the state, and completely controls the public sphere in the private sphere of society. And that's what they're going to do with that MOTB, the RFID chip, right? And it says, and the world